Hello, everyone. Drumstick Claude returns. Greetings, friendos. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dodo channel. Hello. Been a little bit once again. How is everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's doing good. The first stream since the start of a new season of MPL. Woohoo, cool beans. Very cool stuff. Lots of stuff. Where to start even? Well, hopefully you guys have had a good weekend. Hopefully you guys were able to tune in as well for some MPL MY. I know that all the other MPLs are happening at the same time too, so it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, week 1 I think was pretty good actually. Pretty good start to MPL MY. I'd say that a lot of the teams are actually performing pretty okay. But things are about to change. Hello to Lilo, hello to Kurel, hello to Aziza, and hello to Gin. Welcome everyone to the stream. Momo, very good addition, and the mid and roam for MV also good as hell. Yeah, honestly, Monster Vicious definitely stood out. I think we can definitely say that Monster Vicious definitely stood out as one of the teams that really performed this first week. But I think, yeah, in general, a lot of teams did pretty good. I think most teams did pretty good. SRG is the same as always. Homeboys could use a little bit of work. MV did pretty good. Arrow could use a bit of work. Toda could use a bit of work. CG did pretty okay. Team Ray looks pretty solid. Untitled looks very strong. GMXK, kind of expected. Gonna be rough for them this season, I imagine. Vamos also starting to look a little better as well. Unpredictable draft from Todak. I feel like Todak's draft was okay. I can't remember the specifics. I feel like Todak's draft was okay. It's just that they weren't really playing it very well. Very happy to Team Ray and CG. Yeah, that's looking very good. I'm now a Genshin addict again, Lilo said earlier. Damn. That's unfortunate. All the best. Hope you're able to get over this. Nah, just kidding. Honestly, sometimes I do think to myself, hey, maybe I should just pop back into Genshin just to play with Hu Tao again. But then I'm like, nah, too much work. Since the big 3 MPLs are now rolling, time is gonna fly fast. Yeah, I think so as well. Momo spamming recall, was he? I don't remember. I guess he probably was. Yanlord where? Yeah, that's a little sad. Actually, where is Yanlord? You would think that someone else would pick him up. He's not even an MAL, right? Where is Yanlord? At least we got Valens back. All for Flynn's? Ah, I saw that guy. Not too closely though. So something that I feel like we can probably do first today is just a very simple tier list. If you guys remember from last season, I did like a very simple tier list after week 1 as well. Where basically I just put whether or not I felt like the teams met expectations or not. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And I remember that it actually popped off quite a bit last season. Remember that was one of the TikToks that actually popped off for some reason, even though it was a very simple like post week 1 tier list about whether or not the teams met expectations or not. Where is it? Hold on. I'm looking through my TikTok. Here it is. Whoops, the sound. But yeah, if you guys don't remember, it was this one. Where is my Punjik window capture? It was this one, this tier list. This one that I just did very simply after week 1, and it actually got like what, 150,000 views now? So that's a bit insane. So considering how well it did before, I'm probably going to do one again, because they're very fast to do anyway. You know, we don't have to go into the specific details of whether or not like this team is strong early game, mid game, late game, all that stuff. All that will happen in week 2. Unboxing today for Hu Tao? And then you just stop? No, this was always meant to just be a one-time thing. You know, my expectations can only be set so often. You know? These were meant to be like the results of my expectations after my preseason ranking. It's not like I'm going to have different expectations for every team every week. I guess I can do like more separate tier lists though, since it looks like people actually like seeing them. MV in the same spot? Absolutely MV in the thing is, this happens to MV a lot, doesn't it? This just happens to MV a lot because they start the season strong, but they don't end the season strong. That's always the unfortunate thing. Met expectations for OB because, well, we expected them to not do well. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, your recap vids, right. I didn't, like, I mean, I do my weekly recaps. I mean, you've already seen that I restarted my weekly recaps. I did do my weekly recaps though, unless you mean like the full videos, in which case, yes. I did not continue the, you mean like the full videos, in which case I accidentally clicked. If you mean the full videos of like recaps, yes, I stopped doing those because it felt like it was too much work. Yeah, this one. I stopped doing this because I felt like it was too long and too much trouble to do. I guess I could do it like a little more simply, you know? If I do it without like putting too much effort into editing it, then maybe it'll be alright. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Where is Detto? Oh damn, that's actually a good question. Where is Detto? He's not in MAL either. Dusk improved? Dusk looks pretty okay. But it's a bit hard to say for now because all of these teams have only played one match. Right? That's the whole reason why I don't do my power rankings after week 1 as well, because like one match is usually not enough for me to tell how good these teams are in various points of the game. So we will definitely be doing that after week 2. Why is SRG liking double fighters so much? I feel like it might be a Homeboy specific strategy. I feel like they were probably using it specifically against Homeboys. And I also think they might have been experimenting with it a little bit. Basically, they just wanted like really strong early game side lanes so that Homeboys couldn't get like early game rotations and pickups to snowball. Which makes sense. But it did feel like they were going a bit hard on it. React to new stuff? Not sure what new stuff there is actually new stuff to react to, but we're gonna save that for the patch update. Hanzo can eat people now. Hasn't he been able to do that? Also, we're on the wrong side. You're supposed to be on the left, right? I mean, this still works. We switched it last time because we were doing something. The thumbnail? What thumbnail? The Uma thumbnail? What Uma thumbnail? What? Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? If there's a YSS, double fighter is always possible. Yeah, that is true. Also, hello Ray. What vid? My Uma vid? What Uma vid? I don't have an Uma vid here. I am Agnes Digital. I am but a low-life Yuri addict. Very nice. Do you think Todak still need time to improve chemistry, or you have other opinions about them? Hello Nash. Yes. They've got chemistry issues. The draft was not too bad, but the chemistry was very lacking, which is a bit unfortunate. Like, we're really hoping that Todak will be able to find like some kind of revival, but man, they are going downhill. I can understand the Ruby gold, but the Lapu gold was a bit much. But SRG's unorthodox lineups are what makes them special. The thing is, the Lapu gold is something that other teams actually use. It was first like talked about during MSC by Kid Bomba. He brought up during like the caster panel when he was on the panel. He like mentioned that Lapu gold lane was a thing, and we were all shocked when we hear it. And then other teams actually started doing it, right? I think it's like there have been teams in MPL PH who have done it. So it's not actually a completely unorthodox pick. It's also why I was able to predict it during the draft. Like during the draft when the Lapu came out first, I was already thinking like, is this a flex pick? Is this gold lane Lapu? Because it felt like they were setting up for it, and that's exactly what happened. I meant Hanzo, my Hanzo vid. What about my Hanzo vid? Camera? Oh damn, I guess it needs more polish. It might work. It could. But personally I don't like it. I like Ruby gold lane more in the end. I feel like if you're gonna play a fighter gold lane, ideally you want someone who can provide just a little bit more scaling than Lafu. Cause like, yeah, it's a bit difficult. Against Moskov it wasn't that great, yeah. I'll explain later, alright again. I feel like I'm just not catching something. On another note as well, I don't think I need to beat around the bush. Your camera on the wrong side in the Hanzo video? What do you mean? In MPL PH, Benny QT used CC Gold. CC Gold actually makes sense because CC does have some pretty solid scaling and will win most lane matchups as well. There's like a very specific like conditions that you have to meet for a fighter to be viable in the gold lane. But yeah, I probably don't need to beat around the bush about this anymore because I imagine things have been confirmed for you guys plenty of times already. The 4 map rotation that we are going to be getting in our patch tomorrow will be implemented in MPL. That is a confirmation right here, everyone. The 4 map rotation will be in MPL. I think it'll be in every MPL if I'm not wrong. So I'm not sure if the other MPLs have said anything about it. ICGX, very, very shocked about it. For those of you who did not know yet, who are still doubting all the teasing and all the reveals and all the setups and everything, not knowing 100% about whether or not the map rotation is actually going to be in pro play, the answer is yes. The 4 map rotation is in pro play. As a caster, I can guarantee it to you right now, and I am not joking, I am not pulling your leg. This is a feature that the pro players are going to need to figure out fudging ASAP. Because I still cannot believe that this is a fudging pro play feature. Holy shit. On one hand, it is going to be so fun to watch and cast. On another hand, good luck players and good luck coaches, because y'all are not going to have fun starting tomorrow. They're gonna fucking drop this tomorrow on Wednesday, and then teams are going to have to play with it on Friday. Like, holy shit. What day am I casting for week 2? Hold on, let me check. If I'm not wrong, it should be Friday, Saturday. Yes. Friday, Saturday for week 2. So that should be cool. By the way, I have my vlog out from week 1. So if you guys haven't checked out my vlog on YouTube, please do that. Just posted it today. Yeah, meta's gonna shift so hard they can't deal with it. I'm not for the map gimmicks being an MPL. Like, what happened to the past map gimmicks? What past map gimmicks did we have, Ray? I actually don't remember. Hold on, I haven't... Yeah, PH confirmed the format rotations being implemented. Meta's gonna shift hard if they can't deal with it. Hello Xavier, sorry, I haven't played MLBB in a while. What is the format rotation? Hold on. We are going to review this in our patch note review for sure. we are going to review this. But let me just real quick show you. So let's just real quick bring up this video. I believe this is the correct video. Let's just real quick bring up this video for the people who have not seen this.
Welcome to a special preview of our annual map change. In this video, we'll explore more about this exciting new gameplay feature.
I have some thoughts about this myself.
When the annual map change launches, details of the feature can be found here. When a match starts, players will be notified of the battlefield mechanic that's in effect before hero selection.
So, I'm gonna bring this up right now as well for you guys. As you can see based on this video, in ranked games, you will only find out what map you are getting in the draft. As you can see here, right? You will not know what map you end up queuing into. It will be randomly decided during the draft, right? And that's what will happen in ranked play. So now, I imagine a lot of you guys are going to ask me, how will that work for pro play? Right? How does that work for pro play? And I will tell you guys right now, it works the exact same. What that means is, the players and coaches will only know what map they are playing on when the draft for that game starts. There is no pre-preparation. There is no prior knowledge. You have to prepare strategies for every map, because you do not know which one you are playing until you are on that stage. And it is 100% random. There is no rotation. There is no like, okay, we'll play the bush map first, then the river map, then the cloud map, then the wall map. No. It is 100% random. You could get the same map in a row for an entire day of MPL. That is very possible. It is complete and utter RNG, which is insane to me. Yes, ICGX, it is going to be wild. Hello Muktan Dev, can I have a talk with you? Unpredictable map in MPL before GTA 6. I'm gonna feel so sad when that meme actually dies. Dangerous grass would be a lure. Dude, I am definitely going to... I need to make a post about my impressions on all the maps once we do the patch note reviews, because I feel like there's going to be guaranteed winners and losers in every map, right? There's going to be some heroes that are basically like you must pick or ban on certain maps, and some heroes that will just completely drop off the face of the earth on certain maps. Right? Like Natalia and the bush. Like, bush map is the one that feels the most obvious to me what's going to be very good. It's going to be assassin heroes like Natalia. It's going to be heroes like Hilda. It's going to be heroes like Selena that can open up bushes safely, you know, because there's going to be so many. It's going to be something. But once again, let's just real quick go through all the maps themselves.
Are you ready for the Broken Walls Challenge? The old walls across the battlefield have...
So here is Broken Walls.
And giving heroes without blink a chance to shine.
So my direct first impression of Broken Walls is that this is a tank jungler map. Right? This will probably be a bad map for assassins actually. Because one of the things that make assassins thrive is their ability to move, like dash over walls very quickly compared to other like types of heroes. So with less walls to have to deal with, slower, bulkier heroes are going to have an easier time traversing the map, which means that the jungle becomes very unsafe. So that is my current impression of Broken Walls. I feel like this is going to be a very like tank jungle heavy map. For heroes like Johnson and Fanny as well, they basically have to retrain themselves. Right? Johnson and Fanny players have become very, very used to how they're supposed to drive or fly around certain parts of the map. But on this map, the walls are completely different. Which means that you may have to like completely retrain yourself. And depending on how it goes, Fanny might end up becoming better or worse. Depending on whether or not pro players can find like new flying paths for the hero. Also, Ling is dead. You will never see Ling on this map. He is just never going to be worth playing on this map at all. Grok might be quite solid because he's the only hero that can actually generate terrain besides Badang, of course, but Grox is less conditional. So he might be able to make up for some of the lack of wallage with his own. But that one will require some time to say.
We can't wait to see the optimal routes you'll come up with. Danger lurks in every corner when dangerous grass is in play.
This is going to be a big one, I feel like.
With bushes.
Also, I'll say right now, this fudging bush right here. I cannot fudging believe they put a bush right here. Like, that is an insane place to put a bush. I can't believe they put a bush here. Dude, so, we already discussed this earlier. This is most likely going to be a Natalia, Saber, Eudora one-shot hero type map. It's also going to be very good for Hilda and Selena, because you need heroes that can open bushes very easily. So once again, we're going to see a prioritization towards general tank roamers. I think it's going to be very unlikely we see utility roam on this map. I feel like going healer roam is very risky here. Especially since we'll probably also see Loyi and Chip do pretty well. This is very much a vision play. So we're going to see heroes like Novaria maybe pop up a bit more. But it's also risky because there's more bushes that they have to play around. Yeah, Yi Sun-shin and Zetian for vision are also going to go very hard on dangerous grass. We'll see a lot of setter roams, yes. Also, like, dude, I can't... Out of everything, I can't believe they put a bush behind the turtle pit, though. Like, you're going to need, like, you really need a proper team comp for this. Because if you don't have enough heroes to not just protect your jungler, but also keep an eye on this bush in the back, you're just going to get stolen from. Like, this is actually an insane one for me. But in my opinion, it's not the worst map yet. I'll say right now, this is not the worst map yet.
So proceed with caution.
Saber's spot? Yeah, that's Saber's spot.
You'll need new strategies to survive this deadly jungle. Have you ever dreamed of soaring?
Okay, I'm gonna say right now, this is the most bullshit one of all of them. Right? We've already talked about how removing the walls are gonna affect things. We've talked about how putting bushes is going to affect things. But if you ask me from a personal perspective, this is actually the most bullshit of the 4 maps. I cannot believe this is going to be in pro play. I can't, like, dude, if you told me this was going to be in ranked play, I wouldn't believe it. This is the most arcadey mode I have ever seen. And they're putting it in ranked and pro play. It's actually insane. I can't, like, dude, we heard about this before in the past, right? I believe we've seen leaks about this flying cloud shit before in the past. And I still remember when you guys, like, showed it to me, I was like, this has to be an arcade game mode. You cannot put this in, like, ranked play. Well, guess what? They did. And they went even further and put it in pro play. It's crazy.
Over the battle like a cloud. With Flying Cloud, rideable clouds will spawn on the battlefield. Just hop on and take to the air for swift lane rotations, or plunge down for deadly ambushes.
Dude, it's so far.
Ride the wind and
you can go
own
so
the
far.
The river will ride the
Also,
wind
I'm gonna say right now as well, if I am not wrong, you are untargetable on that cloud. If I remember correctly, that you are not targetable when you are flying. Which is stupid to me. I really hope that I remembered that incorrectly, because I really don't think that should happen. So it doesn't quite reach halfway through the map, but it reaches pretty far. And like what ICGX mentioned earlier, it incentivizes setter roams. So Tigreal was like their showcase hero for this particular map. Makes a lot of sense. It's going to be very good for heroes that typically will rely on Flicker to do setups. Thank you for the hydration, fan. Thank you. So setter tanks that always relied quite heavily on Flicker, like Tigreal and Atlas, will benefit from this quite a lot. This will also be very good for generally slow split pushers. I can actually see this being a map that's good for things like Zilong. Because, like basically auto attack based heroes that have low mobility and need a way to flank are going to benefit from this, right? So things like Zilong, Argus, who will typically get kited around, will probably benefit from this map. And this is just a map that's really good for like low mobility heroes in general, so I feel like we are going to see tank junglers on this as well. But assassins can also make use of it. So, okay, the main thing is, this is probably going to be very bad for artillery mages. Alright, this is probably really bad for artillery mages. So things like Farsa, Xavier, Novaria, especially during base pushes. Because imagine that your team is winning most of the game. Let's say you're playing Farsa, right? And your team is winning most of the game. You now want to try and go siege high ground. You want to play in the back, because that's where Farsa is supposed to play. But while your team is trying to siege the base and you're using Feathered Airstrike in the back line, the fudging cloud comes out of nowhere and Zilong drops on top of you and you just die in one hit. Yeah, those are the situations we might see, alright? So it's going to be really hard to base push against this. You will need to play like a really solid 5v5 death ball to deal with this sort of situation. But at the same time, that makes you vulnerable to shit like Tigreal, so this is the map that I feel like is going to be the most difficult for me to predict, like the good and the bad. Because it really comes down to individual team creativity. You can be seen, but you're not targetable. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Like, you can see, like if you're riding the cloud, your enemies can see you coming, but they can't do anything about it until you actually hit the ground. So I feel like that's also where... Dude, I can't believe I have to cast this. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm gonna cast this. Dude, I'm so excited to cast week 2, but dude, what the fudge is going to happen to MPL, man? Big rip to the teams who have to play day 1, by the way. I don't know if the schedule is out yet, but let me just tell you guys right now, GMX Galantan is playing the very first match. I don't think a new team has ever had to deal with this shit this early in MPL before, with this little time. Good luck to them. So yeah, this is the most bullshit out of the 4 maps in my opinion.
Own the skies. The river will bring you to victory with Expanding River. River currents will expand into the jungle areas, and new currents will appear when the Lord spawn.
Okay, so personally I will say the visual effects of this are not very clear. It's a bit hard to tell where exactly the river starts and where the river ends. So that's something to get used to a little bit. Also, this is mandatory wilderness blessing. You will see 10 wilderness blessings in the game on expanding rivers, because there's just literally no reason to not take it at that point. Except on junglers, because they might still need Seasoned Hunter. This will probably have the least overall impact on the game, but I will say that river currents are going to become very, very important timings that I will need to remember, because I always don't remember when river currents actually start around the turtle and lord timings. It just means that you're going to move quicker And since they also expand into the jungle, we are going to see generally more fast-paced gameplay. So I do think that assassins will probably benefit the most from this one. EXP can rotate safer. That's also true. Yeah. Basically, this is the fast rotation map. This is the early game map. This is the turtle control, like, objective oriented map. You want to fight for turtles because it's so easy to get to them. It's 15 seconds before turtle spawns. Thank you, Ray. I think some gold laners are gonna go double lane fast. This is actually probably a good map to go fighter gold lane on, actually, thinking about it. Like, on paper, this is probably the map that makes the most sense for fighter gold lane. Because you want to win lanes, rotate fast, and just snowball the game really hard. Ganking benefits the most. Yes, this is a very fast-paced map, basically. So that's interesting. Dodo, it's time for gold lane Zilong. He doesn't even guarantee winning the lane. I'm not too sure. I feel like the only map where we might actually see a lot of Zilong is Cloud. And maybe Walls. And who knows. Honestly, we are going to see some interesting stuff. Like, this very first week of Project Next is going to be like the experiment zone. Right? We are going to see a lot of very interesting picks, and I am so excited for it. But I still can't, dude, I can't believe I have to cast fudging flying clouds. Oh my god. This will destroy any team that plays systematic, I know, right?
And when it's defeated, travel with the current for a massive.
Yeah, so look at how quickly you move with the river current.
Master the flow of the currents and drag your enemies into a whirl.
This is a case of Moonton being like, hey, we added river currents to make like objective controls more important and increase the speed of the game. And then Moonton saw that the players weren't actually like abusing it all that much, so they're like, alright, we're gonna make like 80% of the map the river. Here you go. You're gonna use it now.
Full of defeat. We hope these new battlefield mechanics will break stale metas and deliver new experiences and
Damn! I just realized fudging lane cutting on the broken wall map. You're gonna be able to cut the lane in places that you never could before. Damn, okay.
challenges to everyone. See you all on the new
Damn, that's a lot of overkill for a Layla, by the way.
battlefield.
Dude, this shit is so funny, man. The fudging Nimbus Cloud. And on top of all of this, we have a new hero and 3 hero revamps. MLBV outdid themselves this time around. My god, I have so much studying to do, guys. I'm gonna have so much studying to do, it's insane. By the way, I'm gonna bring this up right now. So, tomorrow is the patch drop, right? If I remember correctly, tomorrow is the patch drop. I am thinking... Right now, what I'm thinking is, since tomorrow is the big patch drop, and I am casting on Friday, I might shift Thursday's stream to tomorrow, right? So basically, I would do like the whole patch note review and everything tomorrow. Then I would rest on Thursday since I would be casting on Friday. That's what I'm thinking right now. So just want to ask y'all, are y'all good for stream tomorrow instead of Thursday? No, not triple stream, double stream. I'm not gonna triple stream, man. I'm tired. Like, the whole idea is that I give myself a rest day on Thursday so that, you know, I can prepare for cast on Friday. That is smart, Lilo says. Thank you. It's always nice when people say that. Can we do early? Early how? I need to have dinner, you know? I honestly though, I am just like thinking about which teams are actually going to be able to. Which teams are actually going to be able to. I wonder what the comments say. Eudoraphobia and Saberphobia Ultra Max is coming. Now Sun will become the real Wukong with flying Nimbus. Yes. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Have early dinner. Lol, how early do you guys want me to stream? I will say it is true that it's probably going to need a lot of, like, the patch note review is probably going to be fairly long, right? Like, it's probably going to be one of the longer patch note reviews because there's just like so much to go through. 2 streams in one day, the longer the stream, the more it benefits us. Yeah, no, probably not. Twitch be bugging on me. Hello, Kuruel on YouTube. But yeah, I do think I want to do a stream tomorrow because I feel like this is a patch that deserves a on the same day review kind of situation. Oh no, it is my stream. Hold on, y'all, it is me, I think. I just noticed that my my ping on OBS is red. What does the stream look like right now? Is the stream working or is it my Wi-Fi? I think it's my Wi-Fi. Resting on Thursday, very smart. Yeah. I know that a lot of y'all probably want to play some MLVV again since the new season's starting as well. But since I'm gonna be casting 2 days this weekend, I do feel like I need like a rest day. Though I imagine that by the time I actually do stream some MLVV by next week, you guys are already going to be like fudging near Mythic or something. Hello, hello. Is the stream still okay? Testing, testing. Are we still okay on the stream? Stream not lagging. Okay, I see. Incredible. Damn, that's rough. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Are we back yet? Are we? What is happening to my internet? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. Hello, hello. Still loading. What the fudge just happened? Hello? Hello, hello. Can you guys see me? Are we back? Dude, my ping is... Oh my god. My ping is like really fudging sus right now. Okay, wait. It seems to be green again. It looks like we're green again. Are we good? Is it actually okay now? Yes? Wait, no, it just... Hello, hello? Dude. Why is it... I sure hope it's not like this tomorrow. I sure hope that tomorrow will not see an instance of this shit happening. Okay, it seems to be green again. Hello, everyone. I think we're back. Are we back? Okay, it seems to be stable. It looks like it might be okay. Wanna give a call to your ISP? My ISP isn't gonna do shit for me right now, man. Unify sus as always. Okay, I think we are stabilized as far as I can tell. Hello, hello? Are we good? Are we back? Are we like back? Could I get a something in the chat? Okay. Alright, I think we are back. Hopefully. Big sussy right here. Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, we seem to be live on Twitch. We seem to be live on YouTube. Damn, that's a bit unfortunate, but thank you for the hydration, Kuro. Check Discord. Damn. You're seeing some things on Discord right there. Okay, we're back. Okay, I think we're back. I think we are back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for the issues there. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it when it happens. It just happens. Judah is buffering. If you're still buffering, you can try like refreshing the page. Usually that helps fix it a little bit. But yeah, hopefully we don't get instances of the susness right there, especially tomorrow. So yeah, I think I will say that we'll do a stream today and then we'll do one tomorrow and then I'll rest on Thursday. If I'm feeling particularly hardworking, then maybe we can do like a watch party on Sunday when I'm home. But I cannot guarantee anything because casting 2 days in a row is very tiring. By the way, early stream tomorrow? I don't know. I guess I can try starting a little earlier. But how long the stream goes really does depend on me. I'll say right now. You guys already know that I don't have a lot of stamina, you know? I don't go through a lot of stamina training. I haven't really leveled my stamina very well. Oh shit, wait, the hero spotlight for Alice is out. Hold on. Oh, they have the hero spotlight for Alice. Maybe I should check that out. Are they going to have hero spotlights for the other hero revamps? Or like, are Dirov and Tamas just like visual revamps? Because I know sometimes they'll do visual revamps and they'll still call it a revamp. So I'm not too sure if the other two will also get a hero spotlight. Dodo is more of a sprint Uva. Yeah. Dirov is visual. Okay. Are there peeps who are still lagging? Is there anyone who is like still lagging on the stream? If anyone's still lagging on the stream, you can try like refreshing. Tamas isn't that big of a change, but still change. I see. We should probably react to Alice's hero spotlight then. Alice will be more scary. Okay. I did get confirmation from Wunton as well that Alice is not going to be like Alice and Obsidia is not going to be playable for a while as usual, right? With any new hero changes and stuff. But apparently Dirov and Tamas are available, so I'm gonna presume like those two have less of a change compared to Alice. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, one more thing before we do all that. Gin mentioned this earlier about whether or not we're doing an unboxing for the Hu Tao. And I will say that no, we are not doing an unboxing for the Hu Tao. Because she's already unboxed. I didn't record it, I just haven't edited it. I will have like an unboxing video posted on TikTok. Probably not on YouTube because I recorded it in portrait mode. But yeah. Hu Tao scale figure, everyone! Look at this! This is my first and only like actual proper scale figure. As you guys know, I do have other figures, but they're not scale figures. They're like prize figures and like noodle stoppers and stuff like that, right? Or like knockoff figures. But this is an honest to God 100% genuine 1/7 scale figure, official from Genshin itself, of Hu Tao. Did my ping just go red again? Are you for real right now? Hold on. My ping is red again, dude. Hold on. Yeah, Gin just yelped in pain. Here we go again, Darren also says. Fudge, dude. Let me show his figure. Well, I can't believe what's happening. Dude, why? I haven't done anything. Is someone downloading shit? Hello, testing, hello. Are we okay? Dude, what is happening, man? Restart the router? The router is next door. Okay, wait, we're green? We're green? And we're red. Seriously? And we're green? We're green again? Hello? This is terrible, dude. It's never been this bad. Why is it so unstable? Okay, it looks like we're green. Max is having problems with Twitch. I don't even use Maxis though. I use Unify. We seem to be green again. Hello. Are we good? Are we back? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello. Judah's okay on YouTube. I think we're green. We should be okay. I think we're back. Okay, we are back. Where were we? Hu Tao. So yes, this is a genuine... Never mind, hold on. We're red again. What the fudge is happening? Oh, Judah is using Maxis. I see. The thing is, like, you guys' connection doesn't really matter. It's me. The issue is coming from me. It's my side. Have you prayed to Grass Wonder's distant cousin Skibidi Riz? Wait, hold on. That's an actual horse, right? If I remember correctly, that's an actual horse. Like, Skibidi Riz is a genuine, like, racehorse name. You're not actually kidding around there. Today's stream summary, red light, green light. Yeah. I mean, at least it happened after we finished reacting to the map stuff, right? Okay, while we are green. While we are green. Are we green? We're green, right? Okay, we're green. While we are green, once again. Genuine scale figure right here. Again, don't worry, I did record myself unboxing this. You guys will be able to see my unboxing video on TikTok soon enough. I will try to get it edited soon. But yes, here she is. You can really see the quality. Again, camera... Oh, hold on, camera actually does focus on her. Okay. We're red again! And we're back. Is it Hu Tao? Is Hu Tao doing it? Maybe Hu Tao is doing it. She's trying to sell a coffin to Unify. Put her in a jar. No. But yeah, like, so she came in 3 separate pieces: the figure herself, the platform, and then Staff of Homa. So Staff of Homa is actually like a separate thing. I can actually pull it out, but it's a bit of a pain to put it back, so I'm not gonna do that. But you can see like the quality of it is really good. Right? You can really see all the tiny details. Homa itself is like shiny. It's hard to tell because my camera only focuses when there's actually a face on screen. And then you can see like all the details down here. There's a flower and everything. Alright, it's very pretty. I will be posting pictures of this on Instagram as well. So I will be having an unboxing video on TikTok, and then I will be posting pictures of the figure itself on Instagram, where you guys can get like a better look. Right? Just to let you guys know, because like my stream camera is not the best at capturing these sort of things, but you can see the quality is really good. Look at that. Like all the details are properly fleshed out and crafted. Oh, even the individual strands of hair is all there. It's like, it's amazing. And it's bigger than you would expect too, right? Like look at the size of that. Compared to like let's say this nature prize figure right here. Alright? Observe the difference. Look at that. So obviously scale figures are not cheap. Wait, now we're red. Damn. You cannot be serious right now. Okay, I think we're back. It's basically just gonna be bouncing on and off. That's really fudging bad, man. I'm asking my fam right now. Hold on. I'm asking my fam right now. And apparently it's been like this the past like 3 or 4 days. In fact, apparently even our whole like neighborhood WhatsApp group. Apparently our whole neighborhood WhatsApp group has been complaining about it recently. So it might be an area issue. Not too sure. Just put Hu Tao away. I think she's directing the signal somewhere else. She's directing the signal to the afterlife. Bu Tao is very cute too. Look at him. Look at Bu Tao. So cute. But yeah. So you guys will be able to see this more clearly in once I edit the TikTok video. And once I'll do my IG post once I've got the TikTok video out. So you guys will know that once the TikTok video is out, you guys should be able to see like the proper pictures of it as well. Stream summary, internet shit, basically. L area. Oh, my poor neighborhood community. Alright, okay, so there's my Hu Tao scale figure. Once again, not a cheap thing to get, obviously. But it's the only one I've ever gotten. It's the first one I've ever gotten, the first scale figure. And I imagine that I probably won't get more than like 3 or 4 in my entire life. Unless, you know, I start coming into money for real. Because this is the type of thing that's reserved for like very, very special characters. You're still using singing mic, right? You're not gonna switch back? Dude, my singing mic is the same mic as my streaming mic. I don't have different mics. What? It's the same mic. Dodo's area became a dead spot, who knows? Maybe we do need to reach out about it. Nature skill figure when? I am thinking that might be the next one I have my eye on. But it's not gonna be something I get for a long time, I'll tell you right now. Genuinely like nature for an extended period of time. Because I definitely like nature a lot right now. But the thing about liking characters is that that interest may wane over time, right? Because I'm still in the honeymoon phase for Uma Musume. I only started playing it like a month ago or something like that. So I don't know whether or not my my interest for Uma Musume will persist for long enough to be worth. Oh, we're lagging again, huh? This is bad. This is the worst I've ever seen. I wanna do stuff, internet. I wanna do things tonight. There's still things I wanna do. I still wanna react to Alice's Hero Spotlight. I still wanna do like a tier list for the teams. Come on, dude. Don't do this to me right now. We're green again, I think. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Are we back? Okay. I think we're green again. Again, he's gonna start screaming his lungs out apparently. Okay, where were we? We were talking about nature. Yeah, basically, I'm gonna wait a little while to see whether or not my love for nature persists. And if it persists long enough, then I will consider also getting a skill figure for her in the future. Specifically cheerleader nature. Because I like that figure a lot more than her base scale figure. So like nature has a regular scale figure and she has a cheerleader scale figure, and I like her cheerleader scale figure a lot more than her base scale figure. So if I do get one for her in the future, it'll be the cheerleader one. But that one is also a lot more expensive, I'll tell you guys right now. And also Lilo did ask earlier how much the Hu Tao figure costs. I actually got it cheaper than usual. That's the whole reason I decided to go for it in the first place, actually. Like the only reason I actually went for it is because it was actually cheaper, because I had like the Shopee discounts and stuff that I asked you guys about in Discord. So I won't give you like precise numbers, but I did get it like cheaper than normal. And I will say that it is like half the price. It's actually like half the price of like the nature figure that you get, like the cheerleader nature figure, if you look for it now on Google, I think. Something like that, around that number. So it'll be a while before I decide to get another one. And it will depend on whether or not I decide I actually love nature for long enough to go for it. I know that I still like Hu Tao. Even after I stopped playing Genshin for years now, I still like Hu Tao. I still get merch of Hu Tao, so I figured, you know what? If anyone deserves a scale figure, it's her. And we're red again. Oh, and we're back. That was a very short case of red. I sure hope this maintains. It's gonna be okay. You know what? Let's chill on Alice's Hero Spotlight real quick. We will do the tier list first. We'll do the quick tier list first because that one's faster and that one is not as dependent on ping. Big discount, fairly big discount. I would say it took off nearly a quarter of the original price. Right? I got it for like nearly a quarter off of the original price. That's the reason I decided, okay, you know what? Fudge it. It's time. It's time to actually get our first tail figure. But okay, so let's just do this real quick. So this is, you know, our preseason ranking. I'm just gonna reset that real quick. And then we're gonna do it like the same way we did before. We're gonna do met expectation. Or you know what? Some people were a little bit confused about the categories the last time I do this. Let's be a bit more descriptive. Played according to expectations. Surpassed expectations. Did not meet expectations. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, you know what, we're just gonna change the colors a little bit so that it stands out a bit more. Actually, no, I should reverse them. The red should be below. Okay, there we go. So, we'll do this very basically, I think. SRG met expectations. Actually, not played, performed. Okay. If Obi was there, they would have their own tier. No, actually I put Obi in met expectations last time because I already didn't have very high expectations of them. In the same way, you know what? I'll put games like Kelantan and did not meet. I wasn't expecting like a lot from them, but I feel like they actually just didn't play particularly well. How would SRG surpass expectations though? 25-0 a team? I'ma say right now, I don't think SRG will ever surpass expectations in MPL MY. At least not for a long time. I don't think SRG is going to surpass expectations for a very long time in MPL MY because there's just not like an opponent that can make him surpass those expectations in the first place. I'll say that Arrow did not meet expectations. I was a little disappointed in them. Untitled surpassed my expectations. I already had high expectations of them, and they actually did even better. So I definitely put them up there. MV surpassed expectations for sure. Team Ray also kind of surpassed my expectations. I think they did pretty well for themselves. Homeboys did not meet expectations. Vamos, I'll give Vamos performed according to expectations. I think I would have put them in did not meet after their first game, but then their second game salvaged it, so I will put them in performed according to expectations. Todak did not meet expectations for sure. Is that everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm missing someone. Oh yeah, CG. Did CG meet expectations? Because unfortunately it's a bit hard to rate CG because their first opponent was Games My Kelantan. You know what, let's keep performed below expectations and performed above expectations. Yeah, that way is more consistent. CG, I think I'll put them in the middle tier. They did good, but their opponents were Games My Kelantan, so it was pretty one-sided. it's a bit hard to say whether or not they really like went above and beyond. I think that's fair. Though CG is a bit difficult for me to rate. I feel like I could just as easily put them as above expectations. Hi. Yeah. I think that's fair. You know what? I think that's fair. The ping has stabilized in red. It's not bouncing back. Yeah, we're officially in perma-red territory. We are actually in perma-red territory. Oh man. We're actually just fucking stabilized in red, dude! We are actually stabilized in red. It is not bouncing back to green. I have a fucking 20% frame drop. I wanna cry. I wanna cry too, y'all. Y'all wanna cry, I also wanna cry. I can't believe this shit, man. No, Dodo's OBS be admin of Squid Games. The thing is, it's not really even OBS's fault. You can't really call it OBS's fault. He's just working, like OBS is just working with what they got, right? And unfortunately, my internet is not giving it much. At least it's stabilized. It's stabilized in red. We're actually stabilized in red. Where's the fucking Unify logo? I don't actually know which one of these is. Fudge it, we just grab one. Just grab me a logo, and then I'm gonna fucking put him in perform below expectations. Give me the fucking Unify logo so I can put it below. Why is every picture I fucking download a fucking WebP image? I hate the fact that everything's in WebP. Why is everything in WebP? It's so annoying. Hello, Kai. We are ranking MPL stream? Not really. We're doing like a simple version first. The actual ranking is going to be next week, right? Because we always do it every 2 weeks. Today we're just doing like a simple one, you know, like above, met, or below expectations. Let me just real quick. There you go. Do you want to say ranking for next week where the whole new maps mess will happen? Ranking at the moment seems pointless because this week gonna just cause chaos. I mean, we're not doing ranking. We're just doing this. The actual ranking is supposed to happen next week, you know? The one that we do every 2 weeks. This one. Oh, hold on. Which one? This one? This one that we normally do. We're going to be doing this like next week for sure. This one's just a simple one that we're doing like in advance because I did it like last season as well and it actually did pretty well, so I'm gonna do it again. But this like proper one will be done next week. We're gonna be doing this one next week. Imagine if Unify sponsors MPL, it would be catastrophic. The funny thing is, whenever we're sponsored by an internet provider, I don't actually get by that provider necessarily. Actually, are we? Like, Cellcom DG is sponsoring us right now. Are they actually providing us, like, the internet? I don't actually know. Because personally, if I was a sponsor, right? If I was a sponsor and I was sponsoring, like, a tournament, unless I was, like, super duper ultra confident in my, like, product, like my internet connection in this case, I would not actually, like, let them use it and promote that they're using it. Because if anything goes wrong, that is the worst marketing you could ever have. And we're red again. We are red again, everyone. Amazing, amazing. Tonight's amazing, everyone. We're having a great fudging night today. I just wanna stream, dude. All I wanna do is stream. Wow, I cry. How am I supposed to fucking react to Alice Hero Spotlight? How am I supposed to react to Alice Hero Spotlight? How are we supposed to do 2v2s? How am I supposed to do patch note review tomorrow? How am I supposed to review patch notes tomorrow if the fudging internet is like this? No. Fudge, man. I didn't even feel like anything was like too wrong. I was downloading stuff okay. Maybe it was a little slow, but it didn't feel like that slow. I was watching YouTube fine. Everything seemed okay. I'm worried about patch note review, dude. I'm not even like particularly worried about stream today. If it's just happening on today's stream, then like whatever, you know. If it extends into tomorrow though, we have an issue. Tomorrow is important. That's a big fudging patch. What can we do? Can you guys still like see me okay? Streams in red, man. I'm literally losing a quarter of my frames. A quarter of my frames are not going through to the stream. It's your first week of holiday. It's an oof, sir. It's an oof. Anyway, I'll just fucking save this for now. I feel like I might go and make this graphic just a little nicer. And like modify it a little bit, but I'll just screenshot this for now. Hold on. Still okay, but randomly loading. Do you guys think we're in an okay enough state to react to the Alice Hero Spotlight? Feels like it would be a bit rough. Yes? It's like RNG. Well, I will say my recording will be fine, right? Because of the way that OBS records. My VOD will be okay. And as you guys know, I will typically clip out my reactions to heroes and post them on YouTube. So at the very least, if we start getting laggy here, you guys will still be able to, you know, watch my actual reaction later on YouTube. But man, this is some rough stuff. Also, if I also have to clip out my fucking Alice reaction, I suddenly feel like I have a lot of videos and content to make. I have to edit my HUGEEE unboxing. I have to clip out my Alice. Oh. Wow. And now we're dead for real. Hello. And we're back again. Stream went down again, everyone. Dude, we had good viewership today too. There was actually a lot of people in chat. And then this shit happens. My fucking mood is ruined, everyone. My mood is ruined. I cry. Mood that moment. Go to recreation. All right, everyone. I'm gonna go to the shrine. See y'all later. Okay. Let's just react, shall we? So here's what I'm gonna do. Like I was mentioning earlier, my VOD will still record no matter what happens. My editing effort, whether or not the stream goes down or not, while I am reacting to the Alice Hero Spotlight, I am just going to keep going. Right? So that it's easier for me to edit later. And then if some like weird ass shit happens while we're reacting to this, then you guys will be able to watch it again on YouTube like in the future. But let's just, yeah. Let's just I'll turn on my BGM. I'm so annoyed. I'm so like, alright. Let's just have a look, shall we? So I have the hero spotlight for the brand new Alice revamp, the Queen of Blood herself. Kind of curious about what they've changed. I know that there was a visual update and I've already seen some of the changes to her skins, which I do think is quite nice. I do definitely think that they're going around making all the female heroes prettier than they were before. Not that I'm complaining. But yeah, so as per usual, once Alice is revamped, she's not going to be available in Pro Play for a little while, but we are going to be reacting to her Hero Spotlight today for the very first time. Once again, I have avoided any spoilers about what her revamp looks like, what her new skills do, and everything. I will be seeing all of this for the very first time, and from a caster's perspective, I shall give my thoughts about whether or not she is going to be OP going forward or not. Previously, when we reacted to Obsidia, it felt like she was actually fairly balanced. So let's see if they manage to keep that going with Alice. It is her passive. And it is based on her skills hitting targets. So my question is, if you hit like 2 targets with the same skill, does this actually build up to full passive stacks? Or do you actually need to hit like 2 different skills? That will determine how good it is. Because if it's the former, she will be able to use it like for extended periods of time depending on what her cooldown reduction is going to look like. Where if it's the latter, it's going to be a much more conditional sort of ability. But I feel like it's probably more of the former. They want to still keep like some tangents of old Alice gameplay in place.
While the passive is active, hitting a creep or enemy hero with any skill...
That's a lot! That's a lot of regen! Holy shit. Okay, so you can purposefully keep it going. And it looks like it's quite easy to keep it going as well.
will renew the passive's duration. First skill, Crimson Gleam, Scarlet Shadow.
Why is it so long? Why is the name of the skill so long? It used to just be flowing blood. What the heck? What is it? Crimson Gleam, Scarlet Shadow? I'm not gonna say that during my cast. I'm not gonna be able to say that. I'm probably just gonna shorten it to like Scarlet Shadow or something. Holy shit. That's a long skill name.
Alice's first skill still retains its original mechanics. The first part of her first skill, Crimson Gleam, launches a blood sphere.
Oh, no, it's two separate skill names. So Crimson Gleam is the orb and Scarlet Shadow is the teleport. Alright, I get it.
In the target direction, dealing magic damage to...
Okay, look at that. It hit Cyclops and Zilong. It actually hit all three of them already. You can see that it did like 3 instances of damage. But it only gave her one skill bar. Only one passive bar right here. So it's actually the latter from what I said earlier. You do need to hit 2 separate skills. It doesn't matter how many people you hit. You need to hit 2 separate skills. But once you start the passive going, it looks like you can keep it going quite easily. So that does more than make up for it, actually. Again, it does come down to CDR, but I think it more than makes up for it.
All enemies in its path. This skill can be used again to cast Scarlet Shadow, causing Alice to blink to the location of the blood sphere.
Alright, so that part is
Second
still the
skill,
same.
Doom Waltz. Alice's
What's that
second
called?
skill
Doom
has been
Waltz?
adjusted
Okay.
to synergize with her passive. Alice's second skill deals damage to enemies in the target area and slows them on hit.
Okay.
If her passive is active, she unleashes a second attack that deals additional damage
Whoa.
while restoring her HP.
Okay, so no more stun on skill 2. Skill 2 used to be a stun. The AoE looks to be about the same size as before. But it is a slow instead of a stun now. However, if used during her ultimate, it is empowered and gives her more healing. So I think that is good. That's a fair exchange. I feel like a lack of CC is a bit rough. But it also looks like the overall cooldown of it has been reduced. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. It does look like it'll be pretty spammable actually. And I think they're designing it so that it's supposed to be a very spammable way to keep her passive going. So they had to take the stun away, because if it was like a spammable stun, it would be too strong. Think of like Fredrin's Energy Eruption, for example. Because it's already 4 seconds here, and I'm gonna assume this is without like too many CDR items. So it'll probably go down to somewhere like 2 seconds if you have like a max CDR build, which is going to be very, very scary.
Ultimate Throne of Ruin.
I like the name, Throne of Ruin. Also, holy shit, that's a big AO. That's an immobilize. Whoa, hold on.
Alice's revamped ultimate now...
CC immunity, I see that CC immunity text up there, so that's already huge. The fact that she has CC immunity is massive. It has a pretty long charging time though. Can she move? Is Alice able to move while she's charging this? That'll change how it plays quite a lot.
Provides more AoE CC. When Alice uses her ultimate, she enters a channeling state and gains high damage reduction for the duration.
So she probably cannot move. And she also has damage reduction. Damn, okay.
Channeling completes, she unleashes a burst of AoE magic damage and immobilizes enemies hit.
Okay, that's pretty big. That's really big, actually. I'll also say, the fact that her passive stacks off of jungle camps means that she is still a very good jungler. And I think she'll be even better than before, actually. Because she will basically have access to her previous ultimate from level... Well, not level 1. Maybe not level 1. Level 2, maybe. Actually, no. She will have access to it in level 1. It's just a bit slow to build up. Level 2, it builds up a lot faster. And so, yeah. She will farm faster in the jungle. I imagine she'll probably lane... Hold on. Did it count on minions? I'm gonna check again real quick.
Skills deal damage to minions, creeps, or enemy heroes.
It does. It counts on minions. So her laning is also really good. Damn. Okay. Alice is gonna be a very flexible hero. She can definitely jungle quite fast. I can see her being a pretty okay mid laner. I can also see her being a pretty good EXP. Honestly, I could even see her being gold. I actually think that Alice might be one of the more flexible heroes that we've had in a while after this revamp. She's got CC, she's got mobility, she has healing, her farm speed seems solid. Depending on how bulky she's going to be at level 1, like how good her stats are at level 1, I feel like Alice might be really, really scary, actually.
Activated. Alice's passive skill grants her powerful sustained damage and self-healing, so stay close to enemies to keep refreshing the duration of its effect.
Okay.
Upgrade Alice's first skill at level 1, then prioritize leveling up her second skill, since it's her primary
you definitely want to
damage.
max second skill first.
While Alice is
and okay, look at this. Look at how slowly it goes down too. In fact, it looks like
then prioritize
if we look at the red bar,
skill, since it's her
it actually goes back up every time it pulses. So as long as you're next to an opponent, your passive goes for not difficult to get it going. This hero is scary. This is like Alice is going to be terrifying, actually.
Primary source of damage. While
her best whiff section is almost definitely going to be like Tigreal, Atlas, Minotaur, those kinds of heroes, I feel like. But she probably works really well with healing supports too. Oh my god, Alice might be OP. She might fit into like most team compositions.
Alice is channeling her ultimate. She can use her first skill to
Whoa! Hold on, that's a huge QOL change. Hold on.
While Alice is channeling her
cast first skill,
ultimate,
then cast ult, and blink. Wow! That is massive. Normally when you have an ultimate this big, you would need something like Flicker to really be able to
heal again to blink to her blood sphere.
So it is definitely possible to kite this, because you will see the spear coming, and if you have vision over Alice while it is coming, you will see whether or not she's actually activating her ultimate or not. So if the blood spear is coming towards you, and you see her activating your ult, you can flicker out of the AoE. You actually do have a good amount of time to flicker out of the AoE. I imagine pro players will be able to do that quite easily. But just the sheer presence of this is insane, because Alice is not really a roamer. She could probably even be played as roamer if wanted, but she works well in every other lane as well. So this is actually a massive team fight ultimate that is not linked to like the typical team fight ultimate role, and so you can have multiple of them, and people are not gonna have multiple flickers, right? So again, it seems like she's going to pair really well in most team compositions.
Bringing her ultimate on top of the enemy before they can react, and greatly boosting its effectiveness.
This is going to be really scary against generally like slow mobility backline heroes. You can't play utility mages into her.
And impure rage talents.
Seasoned Hunter with impure rage? Why? Why would you need Seasoned Hunter with Impure Rage? You only really take that if you're jungling. That's a weird... Oh wait, no, this is... Wait, no, what am I saying? She is jungling. This is the jungling setup. Seasoned Hunter with Impure Rage and then Retribution. Yeah, my bad. I got a little confused.
Rage talents. The support emblem's healing effect amplifies Alice's
So Impure Rage is almost guaranteed.
Reduction and movement speed will help.
I feel like there's not much point going anything other than Impure Rage.
Helps her with clearing creeps. Alice's sustained damage can easily trigger Impure Rage's effect, allowing her to consistently proc its percentage damage. Without mana, Alice will recover HP instead, adding to her survivability.
Yeah, it's almost like there's no reason not to go anything other than Impure Rage. It's so good on her because you're gonna trigger it like so often. Brave Smite isn't really like going to be as efficient. Lethal Ignition might be good if you're going for full burst build, but Impure Rage is just going to be way better overall.
For EXP lane Alice, we recommend the Tank emblem with Agility, Festival of Blood, and Brave Smite talents. Festival of Blood and Brave Smite further amplify Alice's blood drain effect, maximizing her sustain.
The only thing I can think of is if you want to build Alice as more of a bruiser, right? If you want her to be more of a bruiser with survivability, then yes, you can go Brave Smite. Otherwise, I feel like you'll benefit from Impure Rage most of the time. You can even go like Festival of Blood, Impure Rage, and EXP lane, and I think that would still be like really good actually.
In combat potential.
Okay, the build makes sense.
This equipment build
you definitely want Clock.
Alice, offering exceptional
Clock Ice Queen Swan makes a lot of sense for utility.
Clock of Destiny is Alice's core equipment, providing both damage and hybrid defense to greatly enhance her survivability. Grab Ice Queen Wand in the mid-game to slow targets with its effect so her passive can keep refreshing. Pick up Queen's Wings in the late game to enhance Alice's
Queen's Wings is literally her item
during late-game teamfights. We also recommend this damage-focused build.
Okay, so they give a utility bruiser build and one damage focus build, which I like. So this makes sense. You want Clock for survivability and magic damage, and then Ice Queen's Wand for slow. And then after that, you just go full tank to basically stick to people for as long as possible. Dominance Ice is going to be flexible depending on what damage the enemy team is doing. And then Oracle and Queen's Wings will fit into most situations as long as you're ahead. If you're not ahead, then you probably want to lean into other defensive items like Antique Cuirass, Radiant Armor, and so on. And then you have the magic build. Which is Ice Queen's Wand first into Concentrated Energy for more lifesteal. Into Fleeting Time is interesting, but it makes sense because it did look like her ultimate had a pretty long cooldown. I think it was like 40 seconds from what I saw earlier. So this will reduce it a lot since she wants to spam her abilities as often as possible. Wand. And then you go Winter Crown. So yeah, this is definitely the damage build. You can even go Winter Crown on the bruiser build, depending on the game specifically.
Pick up Winter Crown in the late game to further enhance Alice's survivability.
Yeah, Vengeance or Retrieve for jungle.
Survivability and damage potential. Alice can also take Retribution for the jungler role. Her excellent sustained damage and mobility on her first skill make her an efficient jungler by speeding up rotations and ensuring last hits.
I think there is an argument for maybe going sprint as well if you feel like the enemy team just doesn't have that much damage you have to worry about. Otherwise, yeah, Retrieve for jungle or Vengeance a lot of time. You definitely don't need Flicker unless like you're really worried about getting caught by multiple things at once. But even then you can just build Winter Crown to counter that. So yeah, I think Alice will be either Retrieve, Vengeance, or Sprint. Those are like the only spells you would really need to go on her. Yeah, okay, so they didn't put Tigreal Atlas in the best wave section. As expected, healing supports are gonna be really good with her, and then Zetian obviously works well since like you can extend the immobilize. She does counter backline mages. They just said a hero with healing counters Baxia. I feel like there's an issue with that because I'm pretty sure Baxia was introduced to be the other way around.
Alice's passive requires her to be close to the enemy, making her vulnerable to high mobility and ranged heroes such as Hayabusa, Granger, and Obsidia. Heroes that can give movement speed buffs, like Angela, Zuchin, and Rafaela, can help Alice stick to her targets.
They're talking about the
engaging.
movement speed. I see, I see.
Alice's CC is somewhat unreliable in the early game, and she will struggle to keep her passive active, so avoid aggressive trading.
So what we can see from here is that her wave clear is a little slow in the early game. It's not bad, but it's a little slow, and she will almost definitely get outlaned by heroes like Farsa mid. So maybe it's a bit risky to play her mid. I think she's probably better suited for jungle or gold. And then in very specific situations, EXP. Like when she's playing against like a tanky EXP laner, she's probably a good choice. But otherwise, she's more of a farming hero, so jungle and gold actually makes sense for her.
Once Alice unlocks her ultimate at level 4, she will have access to strong AoE damage and CC, making her a pivotal force in small skirmishes over neutral objectives to secure early game advantages for her team. In mid to late game teamfights, Alice can bypass the enemy front line with her first skill and use her AoE damage and CC.
Yeah, she's definitely backline dive,
with her team.
And a very safe form of backline dive too.
Sustain damage to pin down and finish off the front line. Newly revamped Alice, the Queen of Blood, will be arriving September 17th. Get her for 30% off the first week. And until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Alright, so let's talk about this a little bit. So it looks like she's going to be very good against teamfight compositions, and she's going to be very solid against generally frontline focused compositions. She's probably a good jungler to pick into tank junglers like Fredrin and Baxia, like they pointed out, and a good EXP laner to pick into heroes like Glue or Uranus, since she's going to be able to heal off of them a lot. She's very flexible, she's good in the jungle, good in gold, good in EXP depending on the situation. Probably not quite suited for roam and a bit slow on clearing mid, but actually still possible because her mobility makes up for it a little bit as long as she's not in a straight up losing lane. A bit item dependent, so she's not going to be very strong early, but it's still kind of difficult to remove. You probably don't want to pick Alice into very high single target burst situations. I think she's probably weak to Yi Sun Shin matchup. And then if the enemy team has a lot of late game scaling, then you also probably want to avoid picking her unless you can guarantee winning in the mid game, because otherwise she will get bursted by late game marksmen a lot of the time. Overall though, I do think she's going to be very, very strong, and a hero that a lot of teams are going to pick, because again, having a hero that is not in the roam position with as much AoE crowd control and sustainability as she does is very coveted. Just the fact that we already are seeing more of Uranus and Esmeralda in the meta right now leads me to believe that Alice is going to be quite contested when she becomes available. Especially since heroes like Baxia aren't going to be the most effective against her either. I can see Alice potentially being a little OP actually. I think that she is going to be one of the heroes that actually will be quite hotly contested once she becomes available for pro play. So that's going to be quite scary. Definitely not quite as niche as Obsidia. And just generally really good, especially if you pair her with a healing support like Alice. Angela is going to be impossible to kill now, because she like has immobilize, she has like slow. You get like Winter Crown, you get Vengeance. It's going to be so difficult to deal with her. I do think that Alice might be a little OP once she becomes available. Damn, scary, scary. Alright, and that is the new Alice revamp, everyone. Very cool. I do like what they've done with her, but I worry about whether she might be slightly over-tuned. I do feel like there's a chance of her being slightly over-tuned. Yeah, and she doesn't use mana as well. So she doesn't even need to rely on like Enchanted Talisman for CDR. Okay. Alice Estes, Kuro says, I don't even think like oh my god, OVS just DC'd. I don't even think like Estes is, I mean Estes can work, but she probably actually works best with Angela and Alright, we're back once again. So, real quick everyone, I am gonna go to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and then I will be back and then we will discuss whether or not we want to do 2v2s. Also Kai, don't worry, that's not you. That is me. I have been lagging all night. It is not you. It is my ping. Unify is being very, very sus right now. And that's why once I come back from the bathroom, we're gonna need to talk about whether we actually want to try doing 2v2s. Alright. I will be right back. Okay, friendos. I'm back. And now we must ask the question. Do we try to play 2v2? Is that wise? It seems clear that our internet, my internet, is not going to be very good for now. Dude, I'm so worried about tomorrow. I wanna do like I wanna properly do my fudging. I wanna do my patch note review properly. But what if my fudging ping keeps going up and down? And technically speaking, we can still do 2v2s. It's just that my stream might be a little sus, you know? It's not gonna affect, like, you guys playing. YouTube stream is the only one up, but I don't know Twitch. No, I think Twitch should be back. Yeah, Twitch is back. You just need to refresh again. You try calling Unify right now? I don't even know if their customer service is still available at this point. And even then, I don't have a lot of the details. Again, I'll let you guys know, like, our internet connection actually comes from next door. We're basically sharing, cause like my aunt lives next door with my grandparents and my cousins. So they are the ones who technically own the internet. They are the actual, like, they are the ones that the internet is actually signed to, so we do not actually have access to the main router. It is next door. And we also don't really have, like, the internet details and stuff. I would need to ask them for it. That's the thing. But okay, hold on. I'll just ask right now. Let me just ask right now. Who here wants to play 2v2s? It's been a while since the last time we did it. Let me just get a quick interest check from the peeps in chat right now. Who here would like to play some 2v2 MLBB? Quick show of hands. I know that Gin will probably want to play. Is Lilo still around? Kuruel wants to play. Darren would be up to play. Currently we have 3 people. I don't know about Lilo, if Lilo's still around. Cause who else would like to play? I don't know if we have enough people to do like a full tournament kind of situation. I'm not sure if we have enough for that. But we can do some quick rounds for fun. Okay, so we have Kuruel, Darren, Gin right now. If we can get one more, we can do like a proper 2v2 round. Is Lilo here? Lilo, are you there? I know that Lilo wanted to, right? I think. Because right now we have 3 people, which is just a little bit short. I imagine we would probably have more peeps around, but considering how unstable the stream has been, anyone who may have been chilling about in the background is probably not around anymore, which is a bit rough. Lurkers arise from the grave. Cruel. Channeling some solo leveling right now. Twitch has a few peeps though, yeah, but it doesn't look like anyone is actually saying anything. So obviously, you know, if they're not chatting, then there's no way they can play 2v2, right? By the way, do we know what time the patch is dropping tomorrow? Is it like at the daily reset? Is it like 4 PM as usual? Or like, is it a different time? I'm wondering. Kuruel has just announced that anyone who fills for the 2v2 will get a goth mommy. And it's free. I don't know where he is going to get one of those from, but yeah. Same as season reset, yeah, so probably 4 PM, right? So I can definitely stream afterwards to do the patch note review and stuff. And then Gin comes in and says 11 AM. Well, as long as I stream at night, it should be fine. I think it's almost guaranteed that we should have the patch up by nighttime. Everyone is gone. No. Stream Gemini Cup run tomorrow. Technically, couldn't I stream it now? The final round is already ongoing, right? Though I kind of feel like I want to run it a little bit later. I feel like I have better luck when I do my PvP runs after midnight. I feel like if I do my PvP runs after midnight, I probably have better luck. Because all the people who are actually like doing it properly may be asleep. It's matching, so I can't actually run it yet, is it? What to do now then? If we don't have enough people. Dude, it's kind of sad that we don't have enough people to 2v2 even. Where did everyone go? Unless I play in it. Unless I fill in a slot. Which might be a little sus. Considering my ping is already like this. You can only start the final race at 6 AM. Oh, really? Huh. Okay. I guess we'll see. Where did everyone go? Like, Lilo was here earlier, Kai was here, Ray was hanging about here and there. We just need one person for 2v2 and we can't, and like no one is around. I guess some people got eaten by the job application. Is it? Change your stream description, the Uma and Ray will appear, lol. Bait Ray in with some Uma Musume, eh? I wanted to do some 2v2s though. It's been a while since we did them. But at the same time, I've definitely faced a lot of mood down events today. This stream has given me so many mood down events. And now the ping actually seems kind of okay. After all this time, the ping finally seems kind of okay. But when the world needed everyone the most, they vanished. What to do? Apologies, peeps, after everything that has happened. It's a little difficult to keep my energy levels up, you know? Like, I feel like the stream has just been ruined a little bit. And that makes me very sad. It would have been okay if we could get like a 2v2 going, you know? Then we would have something to do, but... Again... When the world needed one person is not here. Even though there were like a good number of peeps hanging about earlier. Now that we're actually doing something, no one's around. God damn. I guess I need to participate then, right? Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that I need to be part of the 2v2. Because for those of you who are in Discord, right? I mentioned this earlier. I've never actually participated in one of our 2v2s myself. Because I am usually casting it, right? But maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is a sign from the heavens. Oh wait, Lilo is here. Lilo, do you want to 2v2? Is it time to 2v2? you would be the fourth person, which is exactly the last person we need. Yes, okay, everyone. We have our fourth. We have our fourth person. The mood up event is here, everyone. The mood up event has arrived. I'm the one that keeps suggesting it. Yeah, because like we didn't know if we could do it. Because we didn't have a fourth person. Everyone else disappeared for some reason. But you have returned to us. Wheel, Gin says. And there's a 50-50 chance for Lilo Gin duo. Indeed. But that is probably the most fair way to do it. I will always say, every single time that we have done a wheel spin, they have not put Lilo and Gin together. Like, this specific pairing has never actually had a chance to play together every time we've done the wheel. So, yeah, there's a chance that the wheel continues its string of terror. Alright, let me open my MLBB. It's been a while since I opened my MLBB on stream thinking about it. And once again, my phone connection disconnects and my fudging mirroring software stops, but it's okay. Because that has to happen at least once every time we start a stream. It's very usual. Yes, it sure is. As much as I wish it wasn't. At least it doesn't get in the way as much as fudging internet dying though. Oh? Ah, fudge. Hold on, I did it wrong. I am now a Tamamo cross rage baiter. You're gonna have to explain that to me a little bit. I don't know what you mean by that. While I am setting this up though, let me ask you guys, right, while I'm setting this up. Which of the 4 maps are you guys most excited to see in MPL? Like, which of the 4 maps do you want to see the most, everyone here? Why is there no audio? Hold on, my fudging mirroring software has no audio. That's not normal. Hold on, I'll accept the custom invite. You've already got everyone in here. Hold on, let me. All right, fudge it. I'm gonna reconnect. Hold on, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna reconnect everything. The river for Darren, the sun cloud for Gin. Dude, Cloud is still like, I can't believe they put Cloud as a map rotation. That's not even a map change. That's a fudging arcade game mode feature. Like what? Why is there no sound? Where's the sound? Or wait, have I like muted it before? Where is the sound? The fudge? Lilo doesn't want to see any at all. Lol, I see. Hold on. I mean, it's on if I turn it on my phone, but that obviously doesn't sound very good if I do that. How does it sound if I'm just playing the audio through my phone? Why is everything not fudging working today? Where's my fudging system audio? Is that it? Is that why? Okay, there we go! Oh my god. We're good, everyone. We're good. Alright, why was that turned off? That's never usually turned off. God damn it. Okay. We got the wheel. Oh, hey, look, they still... Oh, wow, they still have the wheel from Uma. The last time we used this was fetching Uma. Oh my god. This is the wheel that gave me nice nature. Holy shit. This is like a piece of history right here, everyone. This is the wheel that rolled me nice nature. This is the wheel that started it all. Holy shit. Well, it's a bit sad to say goodbye to it, but thank you, wheel, for giving me my newest waifu. I love her very much. Alright. Can I be Mayano? No. Alright, so we got Lilo, we got Gin, we got Kuruel, and we got Darren. We got 4 intrepid players who will be facing off. And we will see if there is a chance. And we will see if there is a chance for Gin and Lilo to actually be on the same team for once. The no actually hurts. What do you mean? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go 666. Yo, hello. What's up? Welcome to the stream, sir. How you doing? We're about to play some 2v2s with the peeps. Alright, so as per usual, we're going to do Team A, Team B. So like first name spun is going to be on Team A. Second name is Team B. Third name Team A. Fourth name Team B. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Our first player of Team A is going to be Lilo. Lilo is our very first player selected for the first team. I'm good, how about you? I'm doing alright, sir. That's good to hear. Alright. And now we will see the first player on the team opposite Lilo. Will fate tear Lilo and Gin apart once again? We roll the wheel to find out. Oh! The chance survives. Darren will be the first player on Team B. So we have guaranteed that Lilo and Darren are not going to be on the same team. And to make this a little more interesting, we're gonna do this just to make the odds a little more fun. Will we finally get the fated Lilo Gin OP pairing? Or will the Filipino duo return versus the Malaysian duo? We will find out. Again, the name that pops out here will join Lilo's team, and the remaining name will join Darren's team. Let's go! Is it Gin? Is it Kuruel? Oh! The fate has torn them apart once again. It is going to be the Filipinos versus the Malaysians. Damn. I can't believe this wheel keeps doing this. Actually, it's actually kind of insane how this wheel keeps doing this. So we will have the Lilo Kuruel team versus the Gin Darren team. It's okay, I wanted Kai anyway. How do you think that makes Kuruel feel? Can I join in up slot? We are full right now on 2v2. But if we do another round after this, maybe we can rotate. We'll see how it goes. But okay. So we got the Lilo Kuruel team and we got the Gin Darren team. We can do a three-way fight. Three-way fight how? Kuruel is my child. I'm a single mother. Oh damn. Life has not been very kind to you, I see. Best of luck with that. All good, Ghost. You can watch for now. See how we do our 2v2s around here. Because it's actually been a while since we've done a 2v2. Been quite a bit since the last time we did this. So it should be interesting. So just a refresher on the rules for everyone once again. Since it's been a while since we last did this. This is 2v2, all mid. No jungle allowed except for Litho. And you are allowed to recall. The first team to destroy the mid-tier 2. Wait, was it the mid-tier 2? It was, right? Yes. First team to destroy the mid-tier 2 is the winner. And once again, it is all mid, only Litho. No jungle camps. Alright. I just realized Gin is the host of the lobby, so I can't actually start the game. But since it's the first time we've done this in a while, I will place no restrictions on the hero choices, and you guys can just ban as you will. Just ban whatever you'd like, if there is banning. I can't remember if there's banning. If there's banning, just ban what you like. If not, you can pick whatever you like. We can add hero restrictions afterwards, since this is the first game of 2v2 we've done in quite a long time. Alright everyone, welcome back to the Dodo channel 2v2 special. We got the Filipino squad of Lilo Kuruel versus the Malaysian squad of Gin Darren. And we can see Lilo already not pulling any punches, pulling out the instant signature Kagura pick before anything else on the board has been revealed. This is one of Lilo's power picks, often a target of fear whenever anyone faces up against them. We'll see how Gin Darren chooses to respond. I forgot to ask you guys for like any specific team names you might want, but it should be fine. And we are going to see the Cho Yin duo. Very focused on Pika. Now Lilo does have a built-in Purify with the Rasho umbrella open. But you do have double pick-off here. Gin apparently bugged and was not able to pick the hero he actually wanted. But it should be fine. And Kuruel goes for Badang. I thought Kuruel was gonna lock into Leslie. This is actually a very rare situation from Kuruel to go for Badang. I've never actually seen them pick that before. Cho was not Gin's pick. But since this is not like a pro match with any stakes or anything, we're going to make him stick with Cho just because. Haha. Alright, so we got Concussive Blast on Badang and Cho, indicating that both Kuruel and Gin might be leaning towards the tank build. We're leaving Lilo and Darren as the DPSs. Yin with Petrify, going to be a little bit scary. But this is not an easy lineup to pick off. We enter the land of Dawn, everyone. Once again, as a reminder of the rules. It is 2v2, all mid. First team to destroy the other side's tier 2 mid tower is the winner. And you cannot farm any jungle camps except the Little Wanderer. There is only one hero with range on this map as well, and that's going to be Lilo on the Kagura. Again, gonna do some good poke with that concussive blast as well. Gin should be the strongest level 1 out of everyone on this board. But overall, I do think the Lilo Kuruel squad's a little scarier for now. Gin gonna continue doing some good poke. That's a big mess right there, but Darren gonna get caught with the fist break. Beautifully done. Kuruel actually flickered behind him and avoided the petrify. So our blue squad secures first blood. Looking at the itemization as well, Kuruel does have roam boots, Gin as well, so they are leading towards the 1 roam 1 core combo that seems to have become the typical meta for 2v2ers on the Dodo channel. Lilo blinks in, fist break comes out once again. Darren gonna be stuck, dropped to very low HP, should be able to get out of there. For now, blue team definitely has the advantage. But once we hit level 4, red team is going to have a very powerful power spike. Since both Cho and Yin are fairly ult-dependent heroes, once both of them have their ultimates, their pick-off potential is going to be very high. It's going to be difficult to catch Lilo because of that built-in Purify. But Kuruel is definitely a good target. Lilo gonna be the first one to hit level 4. Goes for Yin Yang overturn combo. Catches it on Gin. Gin gonna need to back off. Fist break catches Darren. He's gonna be locked in. Does he have to dash away? He does. But one final auto attack catches him. That's gonna be the second kill for Lilo in our first match of the day. Already we can see why Lilo's Kagura is feared among the Dodo regulars. Gin will just hit level 4. Now gonna go for Kuruel. Not able to quite find it. Needs to clear up the minion wave first. Darren also gonna be level 4. Misses the stun. Blue team still playing quite aggressively. The poke damage from Kagura a little bit difficult to deal with. We're definitely gonna need to see a little bit of magic defense. Gin, does he have the kick set up? Not gonna go for it just yet. Lilo flickers in with Yin Yang overturn. Not able to find it though. And Yin gonna pull out the ultimate. We see inside the Yin domain. Lilo trying to run away. The petrify combo goes in for the full hit. So Lilo very low. Flicker forward from both members. Gin with the Way of the Dragon secures the kill. The first death on Lilo and the first kill for the red team secured at the 3-minute mark. Good combo. Definitely utilized quite a lot of resources, but it's definitely worth it to stop the momentum of the Kagura. Now Kurilla in a 1v2, Gin very low. Red team not gonna commit too hard on this, just gonna poke Kuruel out as much as possible. Looking at the itemization, Kuruel actually grabbing the rapid boots for higher mobility, which is interesting considering that the amount of the map that they're going to be playing in is not particularly large in the first place. Everyone's still a little bit off of hitting their first item, but we can see that Lilo is definitely the richest person on the field right now. Gin not committing the Way of the Dragon just yet, get caught with the fist crack. Darren as well in a lot of trouble. Yin Yang overturn 2 combo. Lilo picks off the Yin. Unfortunately, red team not able to find the initiation they were looking for. This Badang going to be a little bit annoying to handle considering you have a double fighter comp on the red side. And Gin is definitely going to complain about this because that was not the hero he wanted to play, but hey, sometimes luck does not favor you. Blue side looking for the dive on the tower. Gin gets the kick onto Kuruel. Target is on Lilo. Tower not really going for the Badang. But the petrify combo inside the Ying gonna catch Kuruel out. Now trying to catch Lilo instead. Yin Yang overturn comes out, catches Gin, but doesn't quite do enough damage. Lilo now left stranded. 1v2. Gin very low. The stun comes out. And they are actually able to walk away. Gonna recall back to base. Gin gonna try and threaten. He's literally 1 hit away from death, so he is playing with fire, but he's trying to delay Lilo from going home as long as possible. Blade of Heptasy is now completed on Darren, but he gets caught with the fist crack! In trouble, loses most of his HP just from the one combo, but does not fall. That means that Kuruel does not have his ultimate for a little while. First items are getting completed across the board. Glowing Mon for Lilo, Thunderbelt for Kuruel as is expected. Gin goes in with Conceal. Darren goes for the ultimate, flickers forward, not quite able to find the Petrify since he doesn't have it. Kuruel looks like they will be able to get away from this. Meanwhile, on the outside, both sides gonna be waiting for it. Yin Yang Overturn comes out. Not quite enough to finish him off. Gin with the flicker. Doesn't flicker actually. Tries to go forward for the kick. Not quite able to find it though. Darren gonna recall back to base. For now, neither side has actually been able to do particularly notable damage to either team's tier 1 tower. So we're in for a slightly slower game here. In terms of scaling, I do think that Kagura is going to start becoming quite scary. But Yin as well, if played correctly, will be able to find very cheeky pickoffs. Speaking of, Lilo gonna be caught. Is able to dash out. Yin Yang Overturn catches Gin. He goes in for the kick. Not able to find the angle. Flicker going to miss as well. We've got a pretty intense match right here so far. The goal difference still in the favor of the blue side thanks to those first 2 kills from Lilo. Lilo now low wave. The dragon actually gets the kick. She does not have her umbrella, but the fist crack comes out. Kuruel protects the Kagura. And inside the Yin ultimate, the Petrify comes out. The combo is in, but Kuruel just a little bit too tanky. And the perfect umbrella timing comes in. Darren will be picked off once again. Beautiful coordination from the blue team. Perfectly timing everything, even though Gin was able to get the kick. And a final Yin Yang strike. Gin gonna be taken off the map as well for a team wipe. The first tower on the map will fall. And blue side will actually get the chance to do some damage to tier 2 as well. Darren gonna need to make it back in time. The minion will eventually die, but red team definitely playing at a disadvantage now. Lilo looking for an opportunity, goes in for the Yin Yang on Darren, instantly bursts him to death. That's a mega kill for Lilo, and the fist crack comes out to lock down Gin as well. And I dropped something on the side. Blue team really strutting their stuff this game. Kuruel even willing to dive the tower. We can see that Dreadnought has already been purchased as well. That's going to act as a counter to both of these heroes. I will personally say that while I like the concept of having 1 DPS and 1 roam, I actually think it might have been a more interesting idea for Gin to actually go damage Cho. I do feel like the damage on the red side is a little bit lacking. Minion wave is pushing in once again. Conceal comes out. Fist crack cancels Gin, but Kuruel locked under a tower has to flicker out the safety. Yin Yang overturn. Instantly bursts Darren once again. Lilo not pulling back anything. Gin will be able to clear the minion wave, but takes a lot of damage in the meantime. And now it's become very difficult for him to actually return back to base since his tower is so close to death. Again, this is the win condition right here for our 2v2. If blue team is able to take this tier 2, they win the round. Kuruel still here, he's aiming for the tower, going for the objective. Gin trying to stop him, gets the wave of the dragon, but the minion wave is soaking all the tower hits. Kuruel just punches the tower to death. Darren comes back in for a little bit of revenge, but look at how tanky this Badang is. This is why the hero has been meta for so long. He's taunting him inside his own dimension. Gin trying to 1v1 Lilo on the outside. Kuruel finally gets picked off. It's a 1v2 situation, but both members of red are so low, and Lilo just flickers over the wall. Gets the monster kill onto Darren. Chases Gin down as well. Lilo flexing on the red team. Forces out a flicker from Gin. And one final hit. As the concede comes out. Lilo too powerful for the red side. And once again, our local representatives are taken out by PH Imports. Damn, y'all didn't hold anything back, huh? Y'all didn't hold anything back. Gin now asking for a rematch because he was not able to play the hero he actually wanted to play. So I think that's only fair. I made Gin go through with it because, you know, I felt lazy. I figured he might be able to do okay. But yes, let us give Gin his proper rematch. I couldn't even choose emblem. Damn, really? That's weird. Oh, but that actually does happen. Alright then, let me create a new room.
Flowers bloom across the land.
Whoops, hold on, that's the wrong one.
City thrives in an era of peace.
Custom, draft pick. And we'll pull in Gin, Lila, Kuruel, Daron. Okay, do you guys want to keep the same teams? I guess since you're rematching, we can keep the same teams. That should be fine. Like, who has an almond eye profile pic? That's Darren, Lila. Understandable though. Sometimes we just forget who your mom is. Wait, never mind. That's Darren. Yes, I do see the almond eye though. I do really like almond eye's design. The thing is, I really wonder if I'll play Uma that long. Alright. We shall go for a rematch. We won't put any hero restrictions once again, since Gin did play a bit at a disadvantage earlier, so you guys can go ahead and pick as you like once more. And then after this round, we'll see if we can play with some hero restrictions. Kuruel gonna go for the Guinevere lock-in. Is he playing it himself? Or is this actually meant to be given to Lilo afterwards? Considering that this is also one of Lilo's signatures. The Lilo, Kagura, and Guinevere are the typical 2v2 terrors. Which means that red team might have to pull something out in preparation of it. Gin hovering over the Arlet, but looking at the Joy. This is one of Gin's specialties. It's won him several 2v2s in the past, and it looks like it will be the lock-in. Alongside Darren's Phobius. A pretty good choice, considering you are up against a Guinevere. Now the question will be answered. Is this actually Lilo's Guinevere? Or is it Kuruel's Guinevere? Kuruel already debuted something a little bit different earlier with the Badang pick. That's actually the first time he's picked something like that in a 2v2. And it is a Selena coming in. Looks like this is indeed a Kuruel Guinevere. And then we got Lilo Selena. Gin has been quite the terror with Selena in 2v2s in the past. This time we're going to see it on the Filipino side. In general, the field is pretty squishy. I think Darren's probably the tankiest hero here. But Guinevere is also pretty scary. Looking at the emblems, we've got Concussive Blast and Kuruel with Impure Rage on Lilo, as well as Brave Smite for Darren, with Temporal Rain for Gin. And then we got Petrify Flicker on the blue side, and we've got Double Vengeance on the red side. So that'll make up a little bit for Gin's squishiness, but we enter into our second round of 2v2, PH versus MY. Who shall emerge victorious in the land of Dawn? That's if I can hit my arrows, Lilo says, already expressing a little bit of doubt before the game starts. But considering that you're only going to be playing around the mid lane, it definitely gives you a much smaller space to play with. Lilo already gonna take some abuse. Here comes Space Migration into Petrify, but no full combo there. Lilo in a lot of trouble, has to flicker out to safety. Red side definitely winning out that initial trade, but we can definitely see the Abyssal Traps doing a good amount of damage. Gotta be careful about those. There is no Purify on the red side, so if they get caught, it could be quite dangerous since you are very vulnerable to an instant Guinevere follow-up. Kuruel gets a nice knock up on Darren, right into the point blank Abyssal Arrow for a little bit of poke. This Phobius is definitely the hero that's going to be able to wander the map the most safely overall, especially with Vengeance. A full Guinevere combo not going to be a guaranteed kill for a while, unless Kuruel can catch him without his battle spell. Gin goes for dash, doing some good poke. Abyssal Arrow comes out, connects with Darren right into the spatial migration. Once again, it's not level 4 yet on the Guinevere, so Darren is fine. Doesn't have to use Vengeance yet. Lilo gets knocked out with the Dark Wave and crushed with the Mace First Blood. Over to Darren on the Phobius. Lilo a little bit too aggressive with that maneuver right there. Red side gonna gain a little bit of an early advantage. Spatial migration once again catches out Gin, does a big chunk of damage. But again, both members of the red team still have their vengeances. Gin gonna be dropped down to about 30% HP, gonna be able to get back to base for now. Abyssal Arrow connects with Darren once again. But without level 4, it looks like Kuruel's not gonna choose to engage this time. Looking at the itemization, Kuruel is going for the Rome Boots build. Whereas on the red side, it appears that we are not going for the typical 2v2 meta. There is no Rome Boots on the red side, which means that they do have a little bit more farm overall thanks to the early kill Gin was getting. Electrifying Beats comes out under the tower into the Dark Wave. Kuruel still not level 4. Goes in for the spatial migration. Kuruel's still gonna be alive for now, but we can see that Darren is starting to become very difficult to handle. Oh, two-man spatial migration into Petrify, but the Violet Requiem doesn't quite come out fast enough. Gin able to purify out of it. Vengeance comes out as well as Darren chases Kuruel into the tower and gets the pick-off. Very quick but chaotic exchange that once again results in the red side coming out on top. Gin and Darren definitely eager to get a little bit of vengeance from the previous round. And yes, that is pun intended because both of them have vengeance. Gin gets hit with the arrow, stops his dashes in advance. Lilo is meant to be the DPS, but that means they really have to hit these arrows. Since Kuruel not going to really have items for a while. Electrifying Beat's going to be used. Abyssal Arrow dodged, very nice on the red team. You can see their wave clear is very quick as well in comparison. It's a lot easier for red side to put pressure onto the blue team. Everyone starting to get close to their first item. Abyssal Arrow actually connects on Gin. Spatial migration just barely misses though. Vengeance comes out. Gin looking for the opportunity. Darren though is still the big threat. Electrifying Beats will clear up the minion wave and allow Gin to back off to the base. Darren still very difficult to remove. This Phobius is pretty tanky. And considering he is actually the only source of physical damage on the map, building magic defense is going to be a very obvious choice. Abyssal Arrow misses for now. It's gonna be a difficult one. The blue team very dependent on hitting skill shots. Both Guinevere and Selena are dependent on that. Here comes the Abyssal Arrow into the Violet Requiem combo, but Darren is so tanky. Doesn't even need to use the Vengeance. Flicker has to be used by Lilo just to make sure the Phobius doesn't catch up to them. For now though, Lilo is the highest level player on the map thanks to that Rome boot. Spatial migration comes in, gets the knock up on Gin, gets bursted real low. It's a one hit away, but Gin dashes away. Lilo now being chased down by Darren. It's a 1v1 on both sides. It looks like Kuruel not going to be able to catch up to Gin. Lilo actually manages to dash away from the Infernal Pursuit. Abyssal Arrow comes back in. Vengeance pops out. Gin trying to chase Lilo. It's chaos in the river right now, but somehow, after everything, there are no casualties. 0 deaths. Lilo and Gin still choosing to stick around. Gin very dangerously low just to try and do a bit more damage to the tower. Is able to chunk it down to half health. A surprisingly good choice. Gin doing some funky stuff right now. Tried to see if he could get a cheeky backdoor on Lilo, but Lilo was able to recall in time. Genius one now completed. Radiant armor as well. Abyssal arrow connects with Darren. Looks like blue side has learned they do need to chunk down this Phobius first. Dark wave on 2. They're committing to it. Infernal Pursuit comes out. Electrifying beats melts Lilo away. Violet Requiem comes out, but Darren just tanks the tower. Red side really eating everything. A facial migration actually catches on Gin, but a beautiful knockback from Darren cancels out the potential alt follow-up. Despite locking down Gin under the tower, Kuruel was not able to follow up on the kill, and now the first tier 1 of the game has fallen. Red team looking to be very close to potentially getting some revenge on the previous game. Spatial migration misses. Gin uses his ult to clear the way once again. Abyssal arrow connects in the back line. Lilo tries to go on it, but Darren's just standing there menacingly. This purple man showing us why he was the villain of FNAF. Low-key should have went Gwyn for me, Lilo says in chat with some hindsight. Spatial migration comes in, but Lilo with the flicker gets to Pika. Finally, the first kill on Gin the entire game. Darren not quite able to protect his core that time around. That's gonna be a nice swing of cash. Lilo is the richest. Not actually, no. Gin is the richest person on the field. Lilo not too far behind him though. Darren dodging around, goes for the knock-in. Spatial migration misses. It's a 1v2 situation, but Phobius is so tanky. Dark wave connects to 2. Infernal Pursuit doing so much right now. Even in a 1v2 situation, Kuruel and Lilo just can't seem to do much. Violet Requiem comes out, but the combo is cancelled, and now Gin comes in for the cleanup with electrifying beats. It's a team wipe right as the minion wave crashes with the tower. And we all know what that means. That is GG, well played. Red team secures victory in round 2. Intense, everyone. Very intense stuff right there, y'all.
Victory!
So I guess now technically the score is 1-1 if we're keeping count. Unfortunately, I think there was a bit of lack of damage consistency on the blue side, but it was definitely a good attempt. Very nice, very solid. My hands are cold, Kuruel says. Let's see, maybe you need to warm them up a little bit. Alright, I guess it's time to go into round 3 then. If we're doing like a best of 3 situation, we can get the final victor right here. Now the question is, what kind of hero restriction shall I apply? What would be a fun hero restriction for round 3? Whoops, I invited Chef in. I didn't mean to invite Chef in. That's what happens when stuff happens. Okay, he declined. All good. Roles? I mean, we've done roles before. I'm wondering if there's anything more interesting. Let's see. Let's pull out the wheel. You know what? Let's do something a little unique. Alright, we're gonna do something a little more unique. Observe the wheel. Now who can tell me what you think this wheel means? Who can give me like what this wheel means right here? Name wheel, alphabet hero. Y'all are correct. I am going to roll this wheel for each team. So each team will get a different section on the wheel. And you will only be able to pick heroes whose names start with letters in that range. I don't know if this is going to I don't know if this is going to work, if we're going to get like a very obvious imbalance, because I've never really thought about how balanced heroes from different sections of the alphabet are. But this should be interesting, I think. So, which team wants to roll their letters first? Know that when I roll the letter category for you guys, that category disappears for the other team, just to let you know, just so we don't get an overlap. Yes, Lilo is definitely looking for G or K. Alright, Gin and Darren are blue side, so we will give them the first category. Alright, so Gin and Darren can only pick heroes whose names start with the letters A, B, or C. You guys got the very beginning of the alphabet. So Gin and Darren need to choose heroes whose names start with A, B, or C. And then Kuruel and Lilo will need to pick heroes whose names start with D, E, or F. So you guys are just like grabbing the starting of the start of the alphabet. We're just going through A, B, C, D, E, F. Alright, so that means that there is no Kagura or Guinevere for Lilo. Missed it by just a little bit there. But hopefully you guys can think about what heroes you guys are going to play. I'll give you guys 10 seconds to think what you can lock in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I need Kuruel to ready up, by the way. That was a little anticlimactic. Kuruel, I need you to ready up. Oh, ready? No, it doesn't look like you're ready. Okay, there we go. Let's go. So Gin and Darren have the letters A, B, C. Lilo and Kuruel have the letters D, E, F. The only hero with an F is Fred. Yeah, that's why you know I made it like a range of 3 to 4 letters instead. I could have made it just like 1 letter for each player, but then that would be very limited. Alright, we got the Cho. Where's my timer? Why don't I have a timer? I feel like parts of my UI are missing. That seems a bit strange. Alright, it's fine. Well, we got round 3 between Gin and Darren, and Lilo and Kuruel. Gin gonna be locking in the Cho once again, the hero that he did not intend to pick in round 1. Not gonna be picked once more. Is something wrong with the draft? Okay, no. Oh my god, it's the Estes Esmeralda combo. Wow. Y'all. Damn. Alright. Sure. Looks like Darren be thinking about the alpha. Ah, but he locks in the Baxia. That was actually what I was thinking as well. This is a healing composition. Baxia should actually work quite well here. And so, we have our round 3 picks. It's gonna be Cho Baxia on the Gin Darren side versus Lilo Kuruel on the... Wait, I think I said that wrong. What? You couldn't pick your hero again? Wait, why is that happening? Cho Baxia versus Estes Esmeralda. Gin with the Quantum Charge Flicker. Darren with the Brave Smite Revitalize. Versus Kuruel with the Focusing Mark Purify. And Lilo with the Impure Rage Vengeance. Even in 2v2. Even with a limit of only 3 letters they could choose from, the Filipino players found a way to play Ube. I cannot believe it. As expected, Kuruel gonna be playing with the Roam Boots. Gin and Darren choosing to go no Roam Boots on their side. Never mind, the moment I said that, Darren bought his Roam Boots. I wonder if he forgot about it. Lilo is gonna be pretty scary though. Esmeralda is very difficult to deal with in the first couple of levels. And the burst damage coming from the Gin Darren side isn't particularly high. Not to mention that Kuruel is just going to be topping Lilo up the entire time. Means that it's going to be very difficult to actually kill this lady. Looks like red side will win the initial trade. They move on over and grab the Litho to give Lilo level 3 very early on in the match. This is Ube to a T. And I hate it. Darren gonna collide with Lilo, but it really doesn't feel like they're gonna have enough burst damage for a little while. Gin goes in for Kuruel, doesn't have level 4 yet, and even if he did, Kuruel did bring Purify. So there was some proper strategizing coming from the red side going into this match. And we can just see how effective Lilo is being. But Gin goes in, almost gets the last hit on Kuruel, but one last bit of healing comes out. Vengeance also gonna be popped on Lilo. Revitalize gonna be used to top up the blue team. Actually a pretty solid trade overall. Again looking for Kuruel once again. One more hit, but he's under the tower. Has the Shunpo out. Lilo wants to chase him down. One more hit as well. Gin goes for the flicker kick, but doesn't find the tower connection. But it's enough. First blood goes to Lilo, but they trade for the Esmeralda 1 for 1. A beautiful flicker kick. Gin might have panicked just a little bit, was worried about dying, wanted to make sure to connect the second part of the kick in time. If he had waited just a little bit longer, he could have guaranteed Lilo under the tower and potentially survived. But it's understandably risky since he wasn't sure if Lilo would have enough time to get a skill out. Falling Star Moon lands on 2. Darren holding the front line for now, but that Estes healing continues to be bullshit. Again, trying to go for the flank. If he is able to pick up Kuruel in advance, Lilo becomes a lot easier to handle. But he has to get the kick on the Estes when he doesn't have Purify up. Otherwise, he actually just needs to whittle him down over time, which can be pretty difficult to do with Lilo hanging about in front of him. Your mom starts rolling. Your mom collides with a minion. Red side definitely in control of the map right now. Lilo gonna grab another litho. The falling star moon lands on Darren. Darren pops the tortoise's poissons to slow Lilo down. Gin actually does a pretty good amount of damage, actually. Goes for the kick on Lilo into the tower. Is the healing enough? It is not. Cruel not able to save Lilo, and now he himself is in a lot of danger. Purify comes out. Gin goes for the dive. Gets the last hit. It's a two-man wipeout. And the Revitalize tops the blue team back up. A definitive win in this mid lane trade. Indeed, a wise idea. If you're worried about Kuruel's Purify, go for the kick on the Esme instead. And that means, for the first time in a very rare occurrence in 2v2s actually, blue team actually gets the entire gold shield on the tier 1. It is so rare that a team is actually able to hit the gold shield much at all, let alone take the entire thing. But that is now a massive gold advantage for the blue side. Cruel lands the falling star moon. Here comes the blessing of moon goddess as well. Darren dropping fairly low, but Lilo's damage also a little bit on the slower side. Tortoise's poissons slowing him down. And they're also worried about walking too far since they know about the risk of Gin's kick. The status quo remains. Gin walking forward into the wrong bush. Both members of the red team are waiting for him. And one final hit comes out. Gin dashed so far away that his Shunpo shield ran out before the auto attack connected. So Cruel actually got the kill. This is a chance now for the red team. It's 2v1. But Darren's very tanky. He is able to stand right there and eat the damage while clearing the minion wave. Still in a complete duel against Lilo. Revitalize comes out. Darren has held the line long enough for Gin to return. Now goes in for the flicker Jit Kundo, and the way of the dragon kick executes Cruel on the spot. Lilo trying to stay to clear the minion wave, but Darren doing a lot of poke damage. And we now know that Gin actually hurts like a truck. Falling Star Moon comes in with the Jit Kundo knockup, and Gin punches Lilo to death. It's a wipeout for the blue team.